Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. For those of you who are new to my channel, or maybe you guys have forgotten, I am in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. How have you guys been? How are you doing, my viewers and my loyal subscribers? I can only start to picture and think about summer. Summer is roughly 1 month away, and I cannot stop thinking about the hot air temperatures, the ocean, the pool, the barbecuing. And what's better than a nice, sweet, crisp of watermelon, slice of watermelon on a hot summer day? Which is exactly why today we're going to talk all about planting and transplanting baby sugar watermelon seedlings. Yes, guys, today I'm going to tell you all about planting your own watermelon in your home garden. So come with me, let's get started. For those of you who are looking for that online gardening channel that offers tips, tricks, and just easy yet proven gardening advice to bring your home garden to the next level, then you are absolutely in the right place, guys. Start with clicking the subscribe button below. And if you never want to miss any of my gardening episodes, also click the bell icon. YouTube will notify you every single time I will upload a new gardening video. So here we are, guys. We are in my south side garden. Why? Because today we're going to talk all about planting and growing sugar baby watermelons. So for those of you, my fellow gardeners who are thinking about growing watermelon in your home garden this year, and maybe you haven't decided which variety watermelon you want to grow or should grow. For those of you who are still thinking about it, deciding on the varieties, I highly recommend that you guys try out the sugar baby watermelon variety. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So while majority of watermelons, standard sized watermelons, grow to be very, very large, do require lots and lots of garden space to plant them and to grow them properly. They also take over 150 days from seed till harvest. So the sugar baby watermelon varieties stay on the smaller side. They produce watermelons between 8 to 12 pounds in weight, and they only take roughly 75 days from seed until harvest. So the sugar baby watermelon varieties are also sometimes referred to as an ice box watermelon variety. And why is that? Because they're small, the fruit are small enough to fit inside your refrigeration. So when your fruit is ready to be harvested, they are deep green in their skin color and bright, deep red color on the inside. So remember, guys, when planting and growing watermelon, make sure you diligently pick the location where you're going to plant your watermelon. Why? Because watermelons, sugar baby watermelons, require at least 8+ hours of direct sunlight per day. And they do need very loose, fertile, draining soil at the location where you will be planting your watermelons, which is exactly why I picked my south side garden as the location where I will be planting my watermelon with you guys today. When planting your sugar baby watermelons, remember to amend your soil with compost or manure. You can plant sugar baby watermelons in raised garden bed, guys. So for those of you who do not have an in-ground garden space, but you do have raised garden beds, go ahead, guys, and plant your baby sugar watermelons in your raised garden beds. But one tip, if you are planting in a raised garden beds, make sure you amend that soil with 1, compost, 2, bone meal, and 3, blood meal. So for those of you who like to grow your watermelon from seeds or like to grow your vegetable from seeds like I do, here I am using a recyclable container, a little pot from previous growing seasons. This just happened to be from some burpee plant or flower that I had growing previous years. As you could see, I placed 2 watermelon seeds in this container, and 2 of them have beautifully germinated and are growing. And today will be the day when I'll be transplanting them here in my south side garden. This soil has been diligently amended with over 12 inches of compost. So I will not be adding any additional fertilizers or compost or manure to my garden soil today. So again, for those of you who have not amended their soil with compost or manure or any sort of natural fertilizer, you must do so prior to planting your watermelon seedlings. Make sure that you do add that compost or manure to your garden soil prior to placing your seedlings into the ground. And here I took out my 2 watermelon seedlings from the container, and I just wanted to show you the abundant root system. So essentially these are 2 separate watermelon plants. And by the way, with the sugar baby watermelon varieties, each of the vines produces between 2 and 5 watermelons. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to separate these. I'm going to very delicately separate these 2 seedlings, as again, each of these is a separate sugar baby watermelon plant. Here you go, guys. I have separated my 2 seedlings. As you could see, they both used to be attached together with their root system inside this recyclable, reusable container of mine. I took them out of the container, and using my hands, I very gently separated them right at the roots. And now I have 1 baby sugar watermelon, and I have 2. As you could see, it still has a nice dense root system, abundant root system. So now I'm going to plant them here in my south side garden. So when it comes to planting, I like to space them, my seedlings, about 1 foot apart. If you are growing larger watermelon varieties, the larger the watermelon, the more spacing you have to give to your seedlings. And because here I have a row, I'm basically going to space them about 1 foot apart from each other in 1 row. So I emptied out my second pot. So in this one, I actually had 3 seedlings that have germinated and grew. And you could see as well that in this case, I also separated the seedlings. They still have a nice large root system, each one of them. This one is a huge one, look at that. So again, what I did was, the first container had 2 seedlings. I separated those, spread them about 1 foot apart. And here are the 3. So I'm going down in the row. I'm going to separate them about 1 foot apart and backfill my line. Once you positioned your watermelon the way you want to grow them this year, all you have to do is backfill, basically cover up your seedlings like so. Make sure they're nice and centered, and make sure you add enough soil to keep them nice and sturdy in your garden. Remember, especially the first few weeks, few months, you're gonna have to water your watermelon seedlings thoroughly and diligently. Once you see that fruit starts to grow, then you will have to slow down on the watering, because at that point you do not want to overwater them. But until you see that fruit develop, you must daily water your watermelon seedlings. Do not let your watermelon compete with weeds, you guys. So be ahead, one step ahead of those nasty weeds. If you must, then use natural mulch such as straw or natural bark mulch underneath your watermelon plants to prevent them from fighting with those weeds. You do not want weeds to take over your soil. One more thing, you guys. So to grow actual watermelon fruit, watermelons do need pollinators, as they have a female flower and a male flower. So they will need a pollinator to pollinate between the male and the female flowers. If you are lacking those pollinators, such as bees, then you might have to self-pollinate your watermelon flowers. All you do is you take the male flower to the female flower and you shake that pollen from the male flower to the female flower, hence helping your plant to create more watermelon fruits for you. Here you go, guys. My watermelon seedlings are all planted in my home garden over here. So I transplanted seedlings from these 3 reusable containers over here. So between these 3 containers, I ended up having 7 sugar baby watermelon seedlings. And I transplanted all of them today. So for those of you that are starting your watermelon from seeds, make sure you start them inside, indoors, in either your seed starting trays or your recyclable containers, at least 6 to 8 weeks before you're thinking of transplanting them in your home garden. So again, 6 to 8 weeks. Start inside from seed prior to transplanting your watermelon outside. Also, how do you know that it's time to transplant your watermelon seedling? As soon as you see the first set of true leaves on your seedling. So these are not your true leaves. These are the very first set of leaves that appear after your seedling will germinate. Your seed will germinate. These are your first set of true leaves. And as you could see, I already have 1, 2, 3, 4 true leaves of the seedling. So this is the perfect time to transplant the seedling outside. Let's take a look at this one. Again, these oval-shaped leaves, they're not your true leaves. These are the first set of leaves that come up once your seed germinates. These torn-shaped leaves, these are the true watermelon leaves. So this seedling has 1, 2, 3 true leaves. Also, perfect timing to transplant this seedling into your home garden. This is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Today, we spoke all about planting or transplanting and growing sugar baby watermelons. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, if you found this video to be useful, helpful, informative, then show me that support. Go below this video and click the thumbs up icon. Very easy for you to do and will make me very, very happy, guys. If you haven't yet done so, subscribe to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. Everybody stay healthy, happy, and be well. And I'll see you guys again in my new upcoming gardening videos. Bye, guys.